Hi everyone, I'm the Tax Pro. So today I'm going to talk to you about turning an estimate into an invoice inside of Wave Accounting. This is the dashboard when you first log into Wave. This is ABC Corporation. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can navigate to this estimate. So one of the common ways that you would imagine you would navigate to an estimate would be to look up customers, and then let's start with Main Street Manufacturing first. So when we look at Main Street Manufacturing, when we come in here, there's no unpaid invoices. But if we go to activity, we can see this estimate. We can then click into the estimate, we can view it, and then from there, we can edit the estimate, convert it to an invoice, etc. So we can see that we can go into customers with Main Street Manufacturing, but let's say that we're working with the 7L products. So we click on it, we go to navigate to activity, and we can't find the estimate that we prepared for 7L products. So this is something that I find a little bit inconvenient here in Wave. There is an estimate in here for 7L products. We go to the estimate section right here, you'll see the 7L products estimate. The difference between the 7L products estimate and the Main Street Manufacturing estimate is 7L products has not been sent, and I have not marked it as sent, okay? So when you navigate to the estimates, you can either go straight to this estimate section under sales and payments and find the estimate that you're looking for. You can also go to the customer section and then go into the activity to find the estimate that you're looking for. If you cannot find the estimate, but you're pretty sure that you could put one together, you might just have to go to the estimate section because you maybe didn't send it or mark it as sent. So if we look in this 7L product estimate, we could either send it or we could mark it as sent. So let's say that we mark it as sent. It's going to say that we sent the estimate. Now if we go into customers, we select 7L products, we go to activity. Now you'll see the estimate here. So once you send it, it'll sit into activity, and you'll be able to navigate to that estimate from the customer menu. So let's click into this estimate and go to view estimate. So 7L products went ahead and they looked at the estimate and they approved it, but they wanted to actually purchase. So here's the estimate here. They wanted to purchase 4 distillers with installation. So we can go ahead and edit this estimate here. One thing to keep in mind is if we edit this estimate, right now the discount is $16,350. If we edit it, because this discount is set as a percentage, because they're buying 4 distillers, it's actually going to increase the discount amount. If you wanted to get around this, you could change this to a dollar amount and give them the $16,350 discount. Okay. So you can edit the estimate, and then from here, you can save and continue. It's going to take us back to this area right here. From here, we could resend the estimate if we needed to send them an estimate for an invoice to approve with that updated 4 distillers instead of 3. Or we can just convert it to an invoice. Okay. Now, when we go to convert it into an invoice, it is going to hide this little business address and contact details, title, summary, and logo up here. Okay, so this is kind of hidden. You can drop it down. Right here, it's just going to populate with invoice. We could potentially change this. We could say, invoice for 4 distillers or something, whatever you want to put on there. This right here, this summary is going to import over from the estimate. So I had this 654 Hickory Street plant was already wrote in there. And now we have this invoice number. You can edit this. This is the PO/SO number. So what exactly does that mean? The PO stands for a purchase order and SO stands for sales order. So if you're dealing with another company, they may issue a PO, a purchase order. The purchase order is something that 7L products in this case would generate on their side and it would need to then be referenced on the invoice so that they can match this purchase order to the invoice. So they have a purchase order sitting in their internal accounting system. When they receive the invoice, they would match this invoice to that PO. Okay, an SO stands for a sales order. And the sales order would be something that we would have on our end, so that ABC Corporation would have generated in the ABC Corporation accounting system. So I'm just going to leave, I'm going to say that they have a PO number, and I'm going to put their PO number here. So you can change the invoice date. You can also change the payment due. So let's say that we have, given them the invoice date of the 13th, and we're going to give them 2 weeks to pay. So they have 2 weeks to pay. Payment is due on the 27th of August. Always make sure that you have a payment due date so that it is very clear on the invoice what is there. Now you can go ahead, you can still edit these columns. So even though we're pulling this estimate over, we could technically edit the estimate or the numbers on the invoice side. So we've already edited this to show the 4. Let's say maybe they're like, oh no, you know what, now we want 3. So now we're gonna modify this, and then we're gonna give them a percentage, which is still the 16,350. We can just restate it a different way. You can enter notes or terms of service. So sometimes you'll have a client that says, I need to know how to pay you. If you have a client that's going to wire you funds or that's going to ACH you funds, you can put your banking information, like where payment needs to be remitted down here. So we could say payment to be remitted to, bank first, and then you can have your routing number would be 00000 and your account number. Just make sure if you're providing somebody with your routing and your account number that you verified that they're like a real company. This can be standard for some industries it is not. So just be cautious giving out your routing and your account number, but I have also received questions about whether or not this is a standard business practice. Some people get a little startled if they have a customer that asks for remitting information. This is standard in certain industries, and it's standard for certain types of businesses to remit payment via wire or ACH. So this is, let me scroll up and I'm going to go over it again how the invoice looks. So you can put your logo here. This is the invoice title. This is the invoice subtitle. This is the ABC Corporation company information. This is pulling it from the settings. This is the 7L products information. I don't have an address in here or anything like that. Invoice number. This is the PO or SO number. PO number would be generated by 7L products. An SO number would be generated by ABC Corporation. PO stands for purchase order, and SO stands for sales order. So you may have certain clients that require a PO number to be present on the invoice in order to remit payment. That is an internal control system on their side. That is normal for businesses of a certain size and businesses in certain industries. Okay, so a PO number, if they're requesting this PO number be present on the invoice, that's not something that you want to push back on. Just go ahead and put that PO number in there. Invoice date right here, payment due date. Again, you have the item, the description, the quantity, the price. You can select a sales tax. If you need to apply sales tax, I'm assuming here that we don't have one. I'll show you in later videos how to set up sales tax. And then we have this discount. Discount can be set as a percentage or a dollar amount. Then we have notes/terms. This is where you can put different instructions. Right here I've put payment to be remitted to a specific bank. I wouldn't put that if that's not standard in your industry. And then you can adjust the footer. This is just something that's going to be on the bottom of the invoice. You can also have attachments, and then we can save and continue. So this is a draft invoice right now. I'm going to go ahead and approve it. And then we can either either mark as sent, we can send the invoice, or we can skip sending. So sending the invoice would be sent through Wave's platform. That would go via email. Mark as sent you would use like if you were mailing it out, or you can skip sending. Maybe this is just something to where you let them know, hey, it's going to be this amount. They immediately wire the funds. They don't necessarily need an invoice, so you just skip sending. You can also, if this is a paid service, you can send automatic reminders for the invoice until they pay. So we are going to mark as sent. We're going to say that we sent it. And then here, it's going to allow us to charge a credit card or record a payment. To charge a credit card, you have to be part of Wave's payment processing. And then to record a payment, we're just using Wave. Everybody has access to that. This is what the invoice looks like. So this is how you create an invoice from an estimate. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll go through really quickly one more time the basic steps. So if you already have an estimate made, you can navigate to the sales and payment area and click on estimates. That will pull up a list of estimates. So here, if we go in here, you're going to notice the 7L estimate is now gone because we've converted it to an invoice. But we still have Main Street Manufacturing's estimate here. You can also navigate to customers, go into the specific customer, and then you would look at activity. As long as the estimate has been sent or marked as sent, you can find it in activity. If it has not been sent or marked as sent, you would have to go back to the estimate area to find your estimate. From here, you can convert it to an invoice. You can edit the estimate if you click on it. You can convert it right here. You can resend it. This is what the estimate looks like. Once you click convert to invoice, it's going to give you a bunch of different options. You can expand certain areas that have been condensed. And you can fill all this information out. Make sure that you have a payment due date. And then you can save and continue. From there, you can mark it as sent. You can send it through Wave, or you can skip sending it. You will have to approve the invoice once you create it in order to get to the screen to where you can send it. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.